Another mine tragedy and a Saudi woman sentenced to 10 lashes for driving a car. Good afternoon. 2 rescue workers have been killed while trying to retrieve the body of a miner in Harmony Gold's Evander mine in Mpumalanga. A third member of the external rescue team made it back to the surface unhurt. Harmony spokesperson Marianne van der Walt says an investigation is underway. The Harmony miner was believed to be working in a steep and narrow channel used to move equipment and ore up and down the mine when he was killed. Van der Walt says all mining has been stopped while the cause of the 2 accidents is being investigated. The Right to Know campaign says they're skeptical about the ANC caucus announcement of ensuring proper consultation on the Protection of Information Bill. This comes after the ANC Chief Whip's office announced that it had established a dedicated Information Bill unit which would serve as a secretariat to the ANC study group. Right to Know spokesperson Henny van Vieren.
This process must be multi-party led, not only by the ANC, and should seek to constitute meetings that will engage all South Africans on this process. This can't be an attempt by some people, and that's a faction within the ANC, to try and find a rubber stamp, amongst meetings that they have organized, people that they have invited, and with opinions that are similar to theirs alone.
The police draft bill has been met with opposition from some political parties. The draft bill prohibits the possession of any items that constitutes a threat to the public. The bill will allow police to confront anyone they see carrying a suspect item. According to the bill, a person found in possession of a dangerous item could be fined or imprisoned. FF Plus MP Peter Groenewald says such a bill will be unconstitutional.
The fact that one cannot use self-defense as a defense makes this bill unconstitutional. This bill determines that you cannot carry a knife in a sheath as a person and state it is for self-defense. We say that many objects like clubs, batons, pepper spray and anything which can be used to injure another is defined as a dangerous weapon according to this draft bill.
A senior police officer based in Durban has been arrested on corruption allegations. SABC Radio News has learnt that he's married to the most senior police officer in KwaZulu-Natal. The suspect is appearing in the Durban Magistrates Court. The suspect is reportedly linked to a Durban businessman who is currently facing fraud and corruption charges in the same court. Conditions in the country's manufacturing sector are likely to worsen in the next 6 months, largely due to the negative impact of a volatile rand. Economists have warned that the state of the sector is a concern. According to a survey, confidence in the manufacturing sector remains muted, with almost half of respondents characterizing the business environment as fragile or weak. The share of manufacturers shedding jobs by 5% or more increased from 11% in the first quarter to 23% in the second. The country's tourism sector is doing well, even though the global economy continues to slow down. That's according to Tourism Minister Martinus van Schalkwyk. He pointed out that South Africa's cultural and heritage sites have huge tourism potential, which remains largely untapped. Van Schalkwyk was delivering a keynote address at the World Tourism Day celebrations near QwaQwa in the Eastern Free State. He says plans are afoot to attract more foreign and domestic tourists. Van Schalkwyk says they have already agreed with the private sector on a long-term tourism plan.
And our objectives are by 2020, we want 15 million foreign tourists in our country compared to the present 8 million. We want South Africans to travel much more, from the present 30 million domestic trips to over 50 million domestic trips. And we want to increase the contribution to GDP from 189 billion per year to just under 500 billion per year. And we will create, in that way, probably 250,000 new jobs. Now that is achievable and we can do it.
And finally, a court in Saudi Arabia has sentenced a woman to 10 lashes for driving a car. Saudi law does not allow women to drive cars. The BBC's Michael Buchanan reports.
The driver, known only by her first name, Shema, drove her car through the port city of Jeddah in July and has now been sentenced to 10 lashes for violating the ban on female drivers. A group of activists supporting her, called Women to Drive, say she immediately appealed against the sentence. Over recent months, scores of women have driven vehicles in Saudi Arabia's main cities in a highly unusual show of civil disobedience, in an effort to put pressure on the monarchy to change the law.
Recapping the top story, 2 rescue workers have been killed while trying to retrieve the body of a miner in Harmony Gold's Evander mine in Mpumalanga.